challenge is good. You become the superior man project. If you can dream it, you can do it.
In quitting cold turkey, and you know that's the reason you have not quit. You have tried to quit cold turkey. That's the reason you have not quit, because it doesn't work. Because you didn't just drop into the addiction, you progressively, and then that's not how the brain operates. Our brain does not operate where you can just stop doing something. Schedule the habit in. We schedule when we're going to do it, for how much and for how long. So automatically what that does is giving us control. Cold turkey quit damages the brain and the nervous system. And people who quit cold turkey have a higher rate and a higher chance of relapse and sustained relapse. Science has told us, I think neuroscience most particularly, that it takes about 21 days to establish a new habit pattern in the brain, to rewire the brain for a new habit pattern. It takes progression. That's how the brain learns. One of the foundations of any addiction is the variability of frequency. I want to explain so you can understand. But first, if you are new to my channel, consider subscribing. I have nothing but practical insights and information for you if you are getting on NoFap and semen retention. If you browse my channel, I guarantee you will find videos that will help you on any stage that you may be on this journey, because I covered this journey entirely, because this journey is really made up of 3 stages, and I have covered all of the 3 stages. So do yourself a favor, subscribe, and also check my link for Patreon for a coaching opportunity with me. The guys that I have been coaching, their lives are being changed and expanded daily. I mean daily. So you could be one of them. If you're ready, I'm ready. The reason it is called an addiction is because you do not have control over when you do it, how much you do it, and for how long you do it. So we call that the variability of frequency and even amount. So it's variable. You never know when it's going to sneak upon you. You never know when you're going to binge or just have a few minute session. You're out of control. That's why we call it an addiction. The urges overtake you and you just find yourself in that loop of lack of self-control, and you have to act out. Okay? So in my recovery program, in the way that I recovered, one of the ways that I recovered, one of the practices that I came across very early on and that I now teach to my clients is invariability of frequency and amount. What that is we schedule the habit in. We schedule when we're going to do it, for how much and for how long. So automatically what that does is giving us control. We are now in control. If we can say, I'm only going to PMO on Saturday night from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. I know there are other practices out there that advocate that cold turkey quit. Cold turkey quit damages the brain and the nervous system. And people who quit cold turkey have a higher rate and a higher chance of relapse and sustained relapse than individuals who have gone through a progressive recovery. You understand? A succeeding recovery. That is, they took it step by step. That is, they schedule it in and take control of that habit and make it invariable. That is, they know when it's going to happen, for how long, and how much is going to happen. Once you get that grip, once you have that control, it's like a ton of brake has been taken off your back. Because now, through the direction of your coach, you are able to have that little bit of control. And that little bit of control is doing a lot of things. One of the things that it's doing is, while you're waiting to act out, because it's a schedule, so you're waiting to act out, your brain is being rewired to go a certain days without the habit. So you're rewiring your brain, meanwhile building semen. You're keeping your semen. So it's a great advantage. Of course, that itself puts you in the driver's seat for the first time in your life. That's benefit number one. Benefit number two is that because now we are scheduling acting out in, it seems like we're giving the addict permission to act out. My friend, if you know human psychology, you would know anytime you give a person permission to do something bad, they are less likely to do it. Have you ever told a child, go ahead, cry, misbehave? Suddenly, or almost suddenly, and almost automatically, they stop crying. If you tell whatever a person might tell you they are going to do, you know what? Well, then if you don't do that, then I will do this. You say, well, go ahead and do it. About 95% of the time, they do not do it. When you give humans permission to do the forbidden, they don't do it. So that takes me to the next idea of the foundation of any addiction. The second idea is, if the addiction carries with it the promise of surprise. You never know what you're expecting. You never know what to expect. You never know. Yeah, you know that you're going to have an orgasm at the end and that you're going to watch porn videos, but you never know which one. And the brain enjoys the promise of surprise. Just the fact that we just don't know. They might have just dropped a brand new video, and just going and watching that is thrilling. Another aspect of that is also the fact that you are doing something forbidden, and human beings are thrilled to do what's forbidden because it makes them feel like they are not getting caught. They don't get caught. That makes them feel like a genius, smart, intelligent. So in our shadow selves, we are messed up in the way that we operate in the shadow side of our psychology. And unless you probe that shadow side and bring it to the light, you can never be free, because you will be operating mostly subconsciously, unconsciously. So in the Christian faith, I've gone to Bible school, that is practical theology. And first, in fact, I have a degree on that. In that, there's the idea that, in fact, it was Solomon in the Proverbs that talk about stolen water being sweeter. It seems like, and then that reference actually was made to cheating in a relationship. Stolen water is sweeter and satisfies the thirst more than your own water that is available. going to the process of stealing water, that is, of cheating and taking what does not belong to you, makes us feel so great that we're not being caught, that the water tastes better and satisfies us more than our own water, singing, than our own woman laying in a bed, than a woman's own man laying in the bed. That water is not as satisfying anymore. It's not as thrilling. So going out there and stealing water, that's why if you know anything about female nature or female psychology, you know when a man is married, that man becomes a great prospect for other women, because she now has to steal the water. She now has to convince him that she's worth it, that she could be better than the wife, at least in the bedroom, because she doesn't have to feed him, she doesn't have to do his laundry. And the prospect of winning his attention and his mind and getting him to steal away from the wife at home is thrilling. So you can see all these psychological nuances that exist in recovery, in porn addiction recovery, for our subject matter here. It takes a lot of understanding, more so than actual physical practices. It takes a lot of emotional and psychological understanding. Once you understand how the brain works, once you understand human psychology, once you understand how our subconscious mind works, very soon you will find yourself free on this journey. You will find yourself in control. So what am I saying to you? Stolen water is sweeter. When an addict is given permission, he or she loses interest in acting out. So if you are one who believed in quitting cold turkey, and you know that's the reason you have not quit, you have tried to quit cold turkey, that's the reason you have not quit, because it doesn't work, because you didn't just drop into the addiction, you progressively, and then that's not how the brain operates. Our brain does not operate where you can just stop doing something, because, for example, science has told us, I think neuroscience most particularly, that it takes about 21 days to establish a new habit pattern in the brain, to rewire the brain for a new habit pattern. It takes progression. That's how the brain learns. You see, a baby cannot just learn calculus. No, a baby has to go through a process and through school before his brain can be ready to learn calculus. So quitting cold turkey is against the very nature of the brain. It is against other sciences out there that put us through a step-by-step progressive recovery. So I'm advocating that you would take an approach of successful or succeeding progressive recovery, and to apply the principle of making the addiction invariable. That is, instead of not knowing if you're going to act out tonight or tomorrow, you schedule it in. And of course, you will need some guidance. And I would recommend that you check my Patreon to see what I offer there, and the many life-changing skills besides NoFap and semen retention that I'm teaching my clients. The lives are being changed. I'm saying life-altering changes automatically. Check my Patreon and see what's there, and see if one of my coaching strategies, I call them. I have two there: coaching strategy number 1, and then number 2. Check that out and see if it works for you, because my mission is to empower men to get on NoFap, semen retention, and sex energy transmutation, and to do so successfully. Yeah, it took me a lot of years to come up here, but I am the good hero. I am my brother's keeper, and I want to help you out. Just like I created this channel and I'm building up my website, a podcast, and a book is in the making. Because I am excited and thrilled to help my brothers to become alive, dynamic, present, jovial, free as I am. Until next time, you are king. Stay in your kingdom. Namaste.